Tensura x Jujutsu Kaisen by tempjiv Chapter 8 Kyoto Sister Goodwill Event -1. A cozy, sunlit apartment on a peaceful morning. The warm light streams through the curtains, casting soft shadows across the room. Hinata, still in her pajamas, is groggy and snuggled under a blanket. Rimuru, ever cheerful and playful, is already awake and full of energy. Why are you always up so early, Rimuru? It's way too bright outside, Hinata said, groaning, rubbing her eyes. Good morning, sleepyhead. I couldn't wait to start the day. The sun is shining, and I have a surprise for you, Rimuru said, grinning widely. A surprise? It better not be something stupid, she said, peeking out from under the blanket, looking skeptical. Stupid? Me? I'm hurt. I only want to make you smile, Rimuru said, feigning hurt. Stop it. You're just trying to butter me up for something, she said, blushing slightly. Okay, maybe I am. But it's a good surprise. You'll love it, Rimuru said, leaning closer, a playful glint in his eyes. Whatever it is, it better not involve waking me up too early. I could use more sleep, she said, crossing her arms, trying to maintain her composure. Sleep is overrated. Plus, you know what they say. The early bird gets the pancakes, he said, pretend to be serious. Who even says that? Hinata said, snorting softly. I just made it up, but it sounds good, right? He said, winking. You're such a dork, she said, sighing, but a small smile creeps onto her face. Dork at your service. Now, how about I make you breakfast? Rimuru said while playfully bowing. You? Cook? Last time you nearly burned the toast? Hinata said, raising an eyebrow. That was one time. I promise I've been practicing. This time, I'll do something special, he said defensively. What's so special about it? Hinata asked suspiciously. Fluffy pancakes. Just the way you like them, with syrup and everything, Rimuru said, grinning like a child. Fluffy pancakes, huh? Well, that does sound nice, she said, softening a little. Great. Stay right here, and I'll whip them up in no time, Rimuru said enthusiastically. Rimuru heads to the kitchen, and Hinata watches him for a moment, a small smile on her face as she thinks about how much she appreciates his energy. She reluctantly pulled herself out of bed and heads toward the kitchen. Just don't mess it up this time, Hinata said, leaning against the doorframe. No promises. But I'll do my best for you, Hinata, Rimuru said playfully. Hinata rolls her eyes but can't help the warmth spreading through her. She starts to help him, fetching ingredients from the pantry. You really are going all out, huh? Hinata asked. Of course. Only the best for my favorite person, Rimuru said. I'm not your favorite person. You just said that to get on my good side, Hinata said, trying to sound nonchalant. Well, you are my favorite, and don't pretend you don't love it, Rimuru teased her, smirking. Don't, I just tolerate it, Hinata replied, blushing. Tolerate? That's a strong word. How about you just admit you enjoy my company? Rimuru laughed. Fine. I guess it's not terrible having you around, Hinata replied, grumbling. Rimuru beams, pouring batter onto the pan and flipping the pancakes with flair. See? Progress? One pancake at a time, Rimuru said. Just don't burn them, okay? She said, considering intently. No burning today, I promise, he said. As the pancakes cook, the sweet aroma fills the air. Hinata's stomach growls, and she can't help but smile at the delicious scent. I have to admit, it does smell good, Hinata said hesitantly. Just wait until you taste them, Rimuru said, turning to her with a playful wink. After a few minutes, Rimuru plates the pancakes and drizzles syrup over them, presenting them with a flourish. Ta-da, fluffy pancakes, just for you, Rimuru said. Wow, they actually look amazing, Hinata said, eyes widening as Rimuru pasted her the plate. I told you, now, try one, he said, beaming with pride. Hinata takes a bite, her eyes lighting up. Chewing thoughtfully. Okay, these are really good. You might have a future as a chef, you know. Hinata chewed it thoughtfully. Just wait until I start making gourmet meals, Rimuru said, grinning. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. You might burn down the kitchen again, Hinata laughed. How could you say that? I'll have you know that I'm a kitchen wizard, he said, mockingly, grasping. A wizard who almost set the place on fire, Hinata said, playfully rolling her eyes. I'm a reformed wizard, and I'm here to prove my culinary prowess, Rimuru said, leaning closer. They share a laugh, the warmth of the morning enveloping them. Hinata can't help but feel grateful for moments like this. Thanks for doing this for me, Rimuru. It really means a lot, she said. I'd do anything for you, Hinata. You know that, right? Rimuru said, softening. Yeah, I know. It's just, you don't have to go through all this trouble for me, she said, blushing and looking away. But I want to. Seeing you happy makes me happy, Rimuru said, reaching for her hand. Hinata feels her heart flutter as she looks at him. His playful demeanor always manages to lighten her mood, even in the mornings. You're really annoying, you know that? Hinata asked. And yet, you keep me around, must mean you like me a little, he said, grinning. Don't push your luck, Rimuru, Hinata said, smirking, hiding her smile. They finished breakfast, the playful banter flowed naturally between them. After they cleared the table, Rimuru leaned against the counter, watching Hinata with an affectionate gaze. So, what do you want to do today? Rimuru asked her. I don't know. Maybe go back to bed, Hinata said, pretending to think hard. You're incorrigible, but I like that about you, he said, laughing. Whatever. Just don't start calling me Sleepy Hinata again, she asked, blushing, trying to hide her smile. I can't make any promises, Rimuru said, mock serious. You're impossible, Hinata said, smirking. As they continue their playful banter, the sun rises higher, casting a warm glow over their cozy little home, filled with laughter, love, and the promise of another beautiful day together. The scene fades out with their laughter echoing, leaving behind the warmth of their connection and the joy of the morning spent together. Kyoto Sister Goodwill event. Rimuru and Hinata went to the Kyoto High School to observe the Kyoto High Goodwill event. You don't have to act as our Diablo driver, we can go there by ourselves, Rimuru said. It's my duty, Rimuru-sama, to take you there. I just want to be useful to you. You were already very useful. I thought you would get an opportunity to relax and have fun in this world, but you are still the same, Rimuru said, and he whispered to Hinata. Beside, I wanted to spend some more alone time with you. We have arrived, Rimuru-sama. Rimuru and Hinata left the car and went inside the Kyoto High. There they were greeted by Gojo Satoru. It's been a while, Rimuru. Hinata. How are you doing? Hello Gojo, we are doing great, Hinata greeted back. Yeah, it's been 2 years since we last saw each other. We are fine. How's your work going, sensei? Rimuru said, teasing Gojo. I found some really talented students and it is really fun teaching them, Gojo answered back. Teaching? Do you really teach them anything or leave everything for others? I don't remember you teaching us anything useful. We learned most of the things from Principal Yaga or ourself. I bet your students are forced to learn everything by themselves and you do whatever you like. Rimuru and Gojo exchanged several banters to each other. I haven't introduced you to my students. They are Yuta, Akutsu and Maki-Zenin. Others are already preparing for the event. Hello Rimuru-san and Hinata-san. Yuta greeted them politely while bowing. What a well-behaved kid. It's the same, he is your student, why don't you come under my guidance? I am a much better teacher than this Satoru. Rimuru asked Yuta. Yeah, the best teacher, that's why most sorcerers run away in just a few days under your training. Because my teachings are tough, those weak-minded kids can't endure it. Beside him, this girl Maki, right? You look like someone with talent for swordsmanship. Why don't you join Hinata's team? She can help you perfect your skills with sword. What do you think, Hinata? Rimuru asked Hinata. Yes, I think you could be a worthy student for me. I am looking for someone who can learn my special sword technique. After seeing your skills in event, I may request higher-ups to let me teach you. Hinata agreed to it. It would be really wonderful if Hinata taught her. Unlike you, she is much better teacher, Gojo said. You really don't know anything, Satoru. She may appear sweet, but she is a demon, much worse than me when it comes to training. Era. So I am a demon, right, Rimuru? Come home after the event, I will show you what a demon does, Hinata said with a cold stare, sending shivers down Rimuru's spine. No. It's not like that, I am sorry, Hinata-san, please forgive me. Rimuru bows down 90 degrees and plead for forgiveness. You don't have to fight for a useless person like her. Just because she carries a sword doesn't mean she got any skills. A young man with sharp brown eyes and dyed blonde hair arrived with an arrogant grin. He is the son of the head of the Zenin clan, Naoya Zenin. Maki shuddered in his presence. There are many other sorcerers far better than this woman. She is just a weak grade 4 sorcerer who can't even see the curse spirits. She is not worthy of being trained by a special grade sorcerer like you. She is just a failure of our clan who is ruining our reputation. She shouldn't be even allowed to see this event, let alone participate. I don't know what's wrong with the elders. Ho ho. Isn't it One Punch Man? The Jujutsu sorcerer who got defeated in one punch by Hinata and that cryptid boss. Nice to meet you. Do you remember me? Even if you forget me, you must have not forgotten Hinata. The one who humiliated you in front of your clan members. Rimuru started mocking Naya, for which he didn't have any response. Rimuru looked down on him and mocked him. He got the test of his own medicine. I got better eyes to identify the talented people. You don't have to tell me which person to choose as my disciple. In fact, I think she got more potential than you ever could. Hinata harshly shut him down. Being humiliated in front of everyone, Naya let the scene anger. Thank you, Hinata-san, for standing with me, Maki said. You don't have to. I didn't said that just to annoy him. I really think you have potential to surpass that bastard. Just don't focus on those noise and do you best in the event. Hinata encouraged her. Yuta and Maki left for the practice and Rimuru, Hinata and Gojo went to meet other veteran sorcerers. This year Goodwill event is different as the first day is the one-on-one showdown between students from both schools, and the school which wins most round will win the first day of the event. The Goodwill event between Kyoto Jujutsu High and Tokyo Jujutsu High was in full swing, and the match that everyone had been waiting for was about to begin. On one side of the arena stood Veldora Takahashi, a first-year student from Kyoto, known for his unique and terrifying curse technique of probability manipulation and his ability to transform into and control lightning. Despite being a freshman, Veldora had quickly earned a reputation for his unpredictable and dangerous fighting style. Opposite him stood Yuta Akatsu, another special grade sorcerer from Tokyo Jujutsu High, with his powerful cursed spirit, Rika, the queen of curses. Yuta's calm, stoic demeanor stood in stark contrast to Veldora's smirk of excitement. This battle was part of an examination match, but it was also a test of strength and wits. Veldora wasted no time, transforming into a bolt of lightning that cracked through the air. His body shimmered with energy as he zipped toward Yuta at blinding speed. The ground beneath him sizzled, and sparks flew as he closed the distance in an instant, aiming to strike Yuta before he could react. But Yuta, no stranger to speed, raised his hand calmly, summoning Rika. The cursed spirit appeared in an instant, her massive, clawed form intercepting Veldora's lightning attack with ease. The force of the collision sent ripples of cursed energy across the arena, but Rika remained unfazed, her red eyes gleaming with malice. Not bad, Akatsu, but I'm just getting started. Without missing a beat, Veldora raised his hand, sparks of lightning dancing around his fingertips as he summoned a crackling sphere of energy. He hurled it toward Yuta, but this wasn't just a simple attack. His probability manipulation subtly altered the odds, making it nearly impossible for Yuta to dodge. The attack curved unpredictably, homing in on Yuta with deadly precision. Yuta's eyes narrowed as he sensed the shift in probability. He knew Veldora's technique was dangerous, but he wasn't one to back down. With a quick motion, he activated his copy curse technique, mimicking Veldora's lightning transformation. His body crackled with energy as he dodged the attack, disappearing in a flash of lightning and reappearing behind Veldora. You're strong, but don't underestimate me. Before Veldora could react, Yuta sent Rika forward, her massive form lunging toward him with terrifying speed. Her clawed hand swiped down, aiming to crush Veldora with the overwhelming force of her cursed energy. But Veldora wasn't caught off guard. With a smirk, he activated his probability manipulation again, altering the odds in his favor. Rika's attack, which should have landed squarely on him, missed by the slightest margin, her claws slicing through the air just inches away from Veldora's body. Seizing the opportunity, Veldora transformed into lightning once more, zipping around Rika and positioning himself behind Yuta. Without hesitation, he unleashed a barrage of lightning strikes, each one enhanced by his manipulation of probability. The bolts of electricity curved unnaturally, making it nearly impossible for Yuta to avoid them. Yuta gritted his teeth as the lightning struck him, sending waves of electricity coursing through his body. But he wasn't out yet. With a flick of his wrist, he summoned Rika back to his side, using her cursed energy to shield himself from the worst of the damage. Veldora laughing as he watched Yuta struggle to keep up. You're good, Akatsu. But I control the odds. No matter how strong you are, you can't win against the impossible. Yuta's expression remained calm, but he knew Veldora's words held some truth. Veldora's probability manipulation made every move unpredictable, and the lightning-fast attacks were pushing him and Rika to their limits. But Yuta wasn't ready to give up. He summoned Rika's full power, her cursed energy surging around them like a storm. Yuta Akatsu determined. Rika, let's finish this. With a roar, Rika launched herself at Veldora with even greater speed, her cursed energy crackling like thunder. This time, Yuta had calculated the timing perfectly. Veldora couldn't dodge in time, and Rika's claws tore through the air, aiming for a devastating blow. But just as Rika's attack was about to land, Veldora's eyes gleamed with confidence. In the split second before impact, he activated his probability manipulation to its fullest extent. The odds of Rika's attack landing were reduced to 0. With a flash of lightning, Veldora vanished, reappearing behind Yuta once more. This time, he didn't hold back. He summoned a massive sphere of lightning, its energy crackling with destructive force, and hurled it toward Yuta and Rika. Veldora shouting with exhilaration. This is the end, Akatsu. The lightning sphere strikes with devastating impact, engulfing Yuta and Rika in a blinding explosion of energy. The force of the blast shook the entire forest, and the spectators shielded their eyes from the brilliance of the attack. When the dust finally settled, Yuta stood in the center of the forest, battered and exhausted. Rika's form had dissolved, her cursed energy depletion from the intense battle. Yuta staggered, struggling to stay on his feet, but it was clear he had nothing left. Veldora, on the other hand, standing tall, his body cracking with residual electricity. He had taken control of the battle from the start, and his probability manipulation had ensured his victory. With a satisfied grin, he watched as Yuta finally collapsed to one knee, unable to continue. Veldora smiled, extending a hand towards Yuta in a gesture of respect. Yuta, though defeated, took the hand, strengthened the strength of his opponent. Veldora grinning. You fight well, Akatsu. But like I said, I control the odds. Yuta nodded, a small smile on his face despite the loss. Next time, I'll be ready. With that, the two walked off the battlefield, their battle a defining moment in the history of the Goodwill event.